Hi, this is Elaine Starling, the Abundance Ambassador. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of The Abundance Journey. You're in for an incredible treat because I got to tell you, Azim Jamal is the best of the best. I am so impressed and excited and delighted that I get to talk with Azim. Oh my gosh, this guy's amazing. Let me give you a little bit of background on why I'm so excited to chat with Azim. He's the founder of Corporate Sufi Worldwide. Now, this is a company that's dedicated to inspiring and empowering leaders to achieve not only material success, that's also blended with a deep sense of purpose and passion and happiness. So they're truly doing what they love to do and making a massive difference at the same time. Azim is the author of several highly acclaimed books. He's been a #1 bestseller with Barnes & Noble. He's also co-authored a book called The Power of Giving that won the Nautilus Gold Award in May 2009 for books that change lives. I happen to have my copy right here. It freaking rocks. You really want to get your own copy. Azim's latest book is co-authored with Brian Tracy. It's called What You Seek is Seeking You. Azim has conducted high-level coaching assignments with billion-dollar corporations, Fortune 500 companies, sports stars. I mean, you name it, the best of the best want to talk to Azim. And that's why I'm so excited to bring him to you. He's got an incredibly inspiring message that's been heard live by over 1 million people in 100 cities on 5 different continents. I mean, this guy totally rocks. Azim, welcome.
Thank you, Elaine. Thank you so much for your very warm welcome and kind words.
Well, I want to jump right in because you've got so much to share with us. I want to find out from you, when you think about the term abundance, what does abundance mean to you?
So what abundance means to me is that I look at nature and how abundant nature is. Hafiz, the Sufi poet, says, the sun, after all these years, doesn't tell the earth, you owe me. With a love like that, you light the whole sky. So nature is so abundant in giving, and to me, abundant in giving are like 2 wings of a bird. In my talk, Live to Give and Tedx, which you spoke at the same time, I think the big message is, if you have closed fist, you can't receive. The more in the flow of giving you are, the more giving flows through you. The more in the flow of abundance you are, abundance flows through you. The more you keep on giving, the more you keep on innovating, creating, and receiving.
Now, I happen to know you've got a background in accounting. So you've worked with a lot of people who struggle with abundance, right? What do you find are some of the biggest challenges people run into when it comes to abundance of any kind?
I think, when you're a businessman or business person, you are focused on your ROI, return of investment, you're focused on your bottom line, and you want to spend your money wisely, invest in the right kind of manpower, right kind of tools and resources. So your mindset becomes about that, not realizing that sometimes if you give your customer extraordinary value, they give you more business. If you give to your colleague camaraderie, mentoring, coaching, they perform better. There's more harmony, there's more teamwork. If you give to your juniors more, guidance and coaching, they perform better. So they don't realize that the more you're creating and giving, the more abundance you're creating. And so that mindset has to shift to realize if you have a closed fist mentality, you cannot attract more.
That is so true. And I really like the spin you put on ROI because you're investing, and most people look at just investing money, but you're looking at investing time and empowering people and inspiring people. And so you're really showing that the investment is an investment of your gifts and skills to empower others. And that is such a beautiful form of investment. It's honestly the highest form of investment we can ever make.
And you think about the short term and long term. You see, the scarcity mentality is short term. I get something. But if you want long term success, sustainable success, then the more you keep on giving, the more clients keep coming back to you. They tell other people about you because they feel a lot of value that you're giving in. I have some clients who signed me up for 5 years ago. They're still my clients year after year because there's some connection and giving something more than they expect. That's why you become extraordinary from ordinary.
That is such a great reminder. I really appreciate you sharing that with us. So one of the things that we talk about here with the Abundance Journey is that it's important to embody abundance, which is also a form of love. So embody that self-love, self-care. It's also to express abundance, share abundance with others, and then to experience abundance and notice all the ways it shows up for you. So what kinds of things do you like to do to embody, express, and experience abundance?
So I think it's a great question. I think what people don't realize that when you're abundant with other people, you're also abundant with yourself. Because
it's a twofer.
It's just like when you keep an abundant mentality and forgive somebody for their hurt. Guess what? You'll forgive yourself for something you've done wrong. So it's really about what you give out, you give in, and there's an alignment there. So yeah, I mean, force is not the right word, but I challenge myself. Every morning I start with something about giving, a time, knowledge, wisdom. Suddenly my day is full of abundance because I've started giving something beyond what I'm supposed to give or go beyond my normal routine to do something special. And suddenly you find your day gets much more smoother because you feel abundant, you attract abundance.
Absolutely. And you actually kind of bring up something that I want to make sure everybody is aware of, because you've got a blog that you post every single day that is full of inspiration and uplifting information. And this is something that people can really look to as a great way to start their day. And that's one of the ways that you give to everyone around us. So I'm going to definitely sign up. Thank you for sending me the link. And the link is in the show notes, but I also want people to know they can go to corporatesufi.com/free-daily-blog-sign up. So it's kind of a long URL, but I'll have that in the show notes for people. And the other thing I want people to know is about your Tedx Talk. Could you talk a little bit about that and why you were so compelled to share this message?
Yeah, I think, live to give. I realized over the years, there's nothing more potent. And I repeat, nothing more potent in the universe than giving. And giving aligns to abundance because the more you give, as I say, the more you create. And I feel that, and people permeate giving in everything they do. The way they talk, the way they walk, the way they eat, the way they do everything, permeate giving. It's not just what you do, it's how you do it. I think creates an abundant mentality whereby you're always, every encounter you have, every encounter with every person, how can that be a little special just by your demeanor, the twinkle in your eye, your brows are unwrinkled, the smile on your heart is open, there's an echo in your voice. I'm using the words of Ogmendino, whereby, where people get a spark of something, and that means you're always creating that kind of spark. And by creating that, you're also inviting it in your own life as well. And therefore, that's the talk about giving that, we have a lot inside us. We have enormous potential. But why would you tap into your potential? Because you as a person don't need much. You can only eat 3 meals a day. You can only eat one bed at a time. You can only drive one car. So why would you tap into your enormous potential? But if you can use it and utilize it to give to others, you are inspired to do it. So the more you tap into your giving, the more you tap into your genius, into your potential, into your creativity, and into what you're all made up of in your birth, in your innate gifts that you have got within you.
That is so brilliant. I love the way you said that, Azim. And it's interesting because I talk about the same thing in a slightly different way. I talk about how every single person creates a rewarding experience for those around them. And the more you can make that a rewarding experience for them, the more they want relationship with you. And that's how everything starts to take off. It doesn't begin with the revenue, with the money. It begins with creating that incredibly rewarding experience. And when it's rewarding for someone else, surprise, surprise, it's rewarding for you too. How interesting. You give what you get what you give, right?
I wrote a book called 7 Steps to Lasting Happiness about 20 years ago. It was my first book. It took me 10,000 hours to write it. But if you ask me to summarize the book into one line, the line would be the best way to get happiness is to give happiness.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the more you get happiness. So I think, again, following the abundant mentality, when you are abundant and give happiness to others, you attract abundance and happiness for yourself.
Well, you bring up a really good point, because one of the things that we do with the Abundance Journey is not only do we really appreciate the delightful gifts you provide to us to increase our abundance, we want to give you more abundance, Azim, because when we give to you, it opens up abundance for us in return. So what is something that the audience can do to support you right now?
Yeah, I think, if they watch the Tedx Talk Live to Give, that would be powerful, because I think they will find a lot of inspiration and supporting the abundance route. And secondly, if they do sign up for the blog, we will give them a free copy of my e-copy of my 7 Steps to Lasting Happiness, which Deepak Chopra has said it's 7 Steps to Lasting Happiness is both inspiring and practical. Everyone will benefit from it. I spent 10,000 hours writing it. It's a phenomenal book, and it will be a free copy for them.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much. I mean,
Pleasure.
Look, you're modeling exactly. Here it is. We want to do something for you. And the something we can do for you is allow you to give to us. How cool is that?
Thank you.
That's incredible.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time today.
My pleasure.
Just magical for me and
my
really
pleasure.
inspiring.
I just want to say that, Elaine, I've noticed you over the last few months, how you practice abundance in everything you do. And I think you walk your talk. So keep it up.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Thank you. So that means so much coming from an inspiration like you. It really does.
Thank
really
you.
does.
Pleasure.
Well,
Thanks.
Thank you everyone for joining us today, and make sure you check out the next episode of The Abundance Journey. I'll see you next time. Okay, we just heard Azim speaking to us about abundance and live to give. And it's time for us to activate abundance now. So the first step, as you know, is to celebrate. You want to get that, yeah, baby energy going in your body. You want to get excited and happy and full of expectation and curiosity and wonder and enthusiasm for what is coming for you. It's really important that you get in that space first, and that starts to trigger the abundance that you're after. So that's step one, is celebrate. Step two is acknowledge. You just heard wisdom from a guy who has just made incredible strides around the world. He speaks internationally. He's got all these award-winning books. He's incredibly powerful, highly successful business. And this guy took the time to talk to you. So you can think back about the conversation we just had with Azim, and you can pull out 1 or 2 statements that he made that really hit home for you, that really helped you think a little bit differently about abundance or about your life. I loved what Azim said about nature being so abundant, and the sun never comes back to the earth and says, okay, you owe me, pay up now. No, it's just giving. It's always giving. And it comes back to you when you're willing to show up and give. That was really profound for me. What's something profound that you want to acknowledge that you heard in this interview? I'd love to have you post it in the Facebook group, because I can't wait to hear what you thought. Now, the third step to activate abundance is to appreciate the difference it can make. Now, for me personally, it's all about mindset. When I have that mindset of abundance and my beliefs are aligned, that it is possible for me, that I can have this, I can experience this, I can welcome it in, it changes everything for me. So I really appreciate the difference that I get listening to someone like Azim, who has these little insights, these little nuggets. I mean, these are short interviews that I'm doing, but really powerful information when you take the time to acknowledge, appreciate, and of course, the last step, number 4, is activate. The way you activate abundance is you pick an action that you're going to do that will go on your calendar so that you experience a shift in what's happening. It's not enough just to feel good in the moment. Wow, that sounded really cool. If you truly want to activate abundance, you take it a step further and you put it on your calendar. So for example, one of the things that Azim does is every single day, he puts out another blog post that is all about sparking that sense of giving and abundance. And I love that he's got that level of commitment. For him, it really gets him in the zone. He is walking his talk. He wants to be the abundance that he is looking for. Isn't that an interesting perspective? I really love that. I hope you've had a great time with the Abundance Journey. Be sure to join me in the Facebook group and provide your comments and feedback. And be sure to check out Azim's blog so that you get that update every day. I've been watching mine and reading it every day. Love it. So much wonderful, brilliant wisdom. And it's a short little blog post, but it's always meaningful for me. And then also take the time to watch Azim's Tedx Talk. I include the link to the blog post as well as the Tedx Talk in the show notes. Make sure you check it out because, boy, you get to learn from a master and it's well worth it. This is Elaine Starling. Make it an abundant day. Watch my TED Talk, Abundance is a Choice. You can visit theabundancejourney.com to find a link and discover how you can receive a special gift. You are a blessing and you are blessed.